Другая частина по MuleSoft. Все, Макс.
Прекрасно. Тогда мы начинаем. Меня хорошо слышно, да?
Да.
Отлично. Добрый вечер, коллеги. Меня зовут Макс Голов. И я вам расскажу очень кратко, очень сжато о MuleSoft. Я тоже перейду на английский язык для того, чтобы ваши не Украина, а русскоговорящие коллеги могли это услышать. Вопросы после презентации, пожалуйста, отвечать буду также на английском. Alright, good evening everyone. My name is Max and I will guide you through the MuleSoft. I will guide you through the MuleSoft main concepts and through the approach which we are using in the integration world. Okay, I will give you a presentation about the company, about our strategy, about our approach, about our product, and then I'll give you a little demo where you will see in real life how MuleSoft works, what it does. So the goal of this presentation will be tell you about why we are so good on the IT market. I'll tell you what we are bringing in the IT market, what we are making as an addition for the sales force. I will tell you about our product and I'll give you a demo. Before we'll begin, I'm pretty sure majority of you are developers. Unfortunately, I cannot see you guys, but I'm assuming, I'm pretty sure you're mainly developers on this session. And why developers help needed for the big companies, for the big enterprises. Why they are asking for help, especially for the integration. The answer actually is quite straightforward. The answer is quite simple because they have a problem, which is, look into this chart, look into this graph. There is a wonderful yellow line which says IT delivery capacity. Every company makes a projection to the future, projection about their IT growth. How many more servers they need, what new technologies they're thinking about, how many, let's make it simple, requests per stack are they processing. And they are realizing that they have a problem because multiple players of the IT market, analytics, big data, mobile, cloud, SaaS, digital competition, data lakes, and so on and so forth. They are all distractors. And the company wants to be on top, but trajectory says you are actually at the bottom. And then they're screaming for help. They're going to IT architects, they're going to CTOs, and they're saying, help us going up. How? There are plenty of ideas around. Let's hire more developers. It's not always a good idea to hire more developers because it brings more mess. Let's work 24/7 by using different time zones, different continents. Let's do something do just to be on top. But the answer, as a matter of fact, to all these problems is reusability. Components, they have to be created in a way to be reused. Let's look into the simple approach, the simple classical approach. You are the company, you are IT lead, and you're getting requests to create a web app because your company decided to go online. So you have several backends like SAP, Salesforce, maybe some local databases, God knows what. And you need to create 3 components, let's make it simple, to generate order status, order history, and to aggregate customer data. Simple. 1 month of development, month of testing, couple of weeks for integration, we could be online. Works. Everybody's happy. 6 months later, your director, the owner of a company is coming to you and saying, you know what, it's great for using web app. Now we want to go mobile. And I'm pretty sure you all see this picture. It's a Zoom combined with a spaghetti of connectivity, a lot of legacy stuff. And there will be more and more and more of these things. And at a certain point, the company will decide we need to untie all these things. We need to do something to bring it into good shape. And at this point, you start looking for the integration company. And there are quite some players in the market. We are, as a MuleSoft, what we are offering. We are offering a new IT operating model. Our aim is to do something like that, to take an approach, an IT component, and split it into 3 layers, logical layers: system layer, processing layer, and experience layer. Why? Because we want to take people and make them responsible for certain actions. Guys, just think about the company you're working at, the project you're working with. How many developers are involved? Maybe 10, maybe 20, maybe 100, depends on the size. How many out of that 100 of developers are involved in the connectivity to the backend? How many people know exactly how to connect to the backend systems, how to consume the data? I'm pretty sure not too many. 10%, 15% if you're lucky, maybe less. Take them a simple task. Get the data from me. How many people know exactly how to operate with the data, how to do data transformation, data enrichment, data collaboration? I would say vast majority of developers. Place them in the processing layer. Don't ask them to consume data. Ask them to work with the already consumed data. Abstract mechanism of consumption. Experience layer. Guys, .NET developers, JavaScript developers, the HTML5 developers, Ajax developers. Those are on the experience layer. They don't need to bother with the data transformation. They have already canonical or domain concept model. Take it, bring it up. When we have this, the components are reusable. They're simple APIs. They're doing their business. If you want to go mobile, you can reuse an existence. If you need to add something more, like look, we have UPS shipment, for example, or toll shipment. Just add components on a system layer. Add one API to data transformation and start using those components, keeping or reusing existing ones. It brings you ease of use, ease of modification, and we're saying our solution, it does not break, it bends. Okay, we have central IT, system API, line of business IT process API, and experience layer front-end developers. Now, I told you really briefly, I can talk for hours on that concept. But now, let's create a special feature which would call it an application network. What's that? Imagine there is a customer who runs its enterprise endlessly with plenty of components, with a lot of connectivity things. And integration company comes to the client and says, oh, you're doing all wrong. But because your business is live, it's running, we will build up our system right next to your existing one. And at a certain point, do a big bang. Big bang happens once, 30 billion years ago, 30.7 to be precise. And I have my doubts it will ever happen again, at least in the nearest future. We don't like a big bang. What we're doing, we'll say to the customer, let's pick up one simple project out of your enterprise, and we will apply our model, our API-led connectivity on top of it. We'll take those blue bullet points, those blue circles, they are used of components. We'll place them into the repository for reuse. And then we'll start applying those components gradually, one by one, to different parts of the enterprise. And eventually we will substitute all old existence to the new MuleSoft integration solution. And it works. Believe me, it does work. I'll show you the list of just a little fraction of our existing clients. Now, you're developers, guys. I'm not going to sell you anymore the platform, the product. I'll just tell you, we are quite happy company. We are lucky because in our portfolio, we do have only one single product, just one. We call it Anypoint platform. It does have number of components, we call it them entitlements, but it's just one product, one license, one product, everything is there. I know several competitors of ours, and they are happy to say, well, we have more than 100 products in our portfolio. Yeah, that's good, guys. Which one out of the 100 we need? And we as MuleSoft, we're giving you one single product with a set of tools you can use. That's the one. Second, a MuleSoft product component of MuleSoft, our APIs, our implementation, exists in the two different universes. It does exist in the cloud. We have our MuleSoft hosted cloud called Cloud Hub. It exists on-prem, on the customer premise or in the customer hosted cloud. And we have a concept, design once, deploy anywhere. So one component can go on our MuleSoft hosted cloud. It could go to Azure, it could go to Google Cloud, to AWS, on your prem. Secondly, and the thirdly, maybe most importantly, we are the integration company. We're giving you ability, we're giving you the way to integrate with help of connectors. What they are, you see them in the bottom, connectors. They are giving you a possibility to natively connect to your various backends and consume data and bring it up to the MuleSoft component. In our portfolio, we have over 150 different connectors. They're all for you. Just take them and use them. Think about them as a drivers, as a sockets, as a just classes which are natively talking to the backend. We have a lot of them. And if for some strange reasons we do not have specific connector for your needs, we have MuleSoft Connector SDK software development kit. So you're free to develop your own connector. We cover the entire life cycle of the software component. We call it API. Initially, we're talking about interfaces, design of the interfaces, design phase. We have a component API designer to do it. When you finish with the design, you can simulate your design without connecting to the backend. You don't need to stress your backend to simulate your component. I'll show it to you in a moment. Feedback. When your API is ready and it's designed, it's nice to publish it to certain repositories which exchange. And when it's published, you can share your API either internally, either externally. We have a possibility to validate. We have API notebook, which does a validation. Next, we have API specification ready. We are using language which is nice non-proprietary language called RAML, RESTful API modeling language. If for some strange reasons you don't like RAML, you can use Swagger. For us, now it calls OS, Open API Specification Language, from Swagger once again. After that, the next stage goes to have definition of your interfaces. What we're doing next? If we follow the standard as LTC software development lifecycle, we need to build up our implementation and attach implementation to the interfaces. We have a tool called Anypoint Studio. By the way, the only offline component MuleSoft has. You have to download it, it's based on Eclipse. As a matter of fact, it's a set of plugins for Eclipse. If some of you just start to sneeze, I don't like Eclipse, I like IntelliJ, fine. We have wonderful plugin to work with the IntelliJ. It's not official, it's not commercial, it has been created by our community, so we do have it's okay. So you picked it. By the way, we also have another component called Flow Designer. I'll show it to you today, which gives you a possibility to create implementation online purely using your browser. It lacks some functionality, but it's perfectly fine to show. I'll show it to you. After build, it's wise to test. We have a tool called MUnit. It gives the possibility to test your implementation based on JUnit, well-known Java testing environment, JUnit, and unit based on top of JUnit. Then we have service-ready component, which is okay to be deployed. So we're going to deploy. Before deploying, we need to version our component. Give it a nice version 0.1, for instance. We have API Manager for that. Also, with API Manager, you can apply various levels of security. You can do DDoS protection, you can add security, authentication, authorization, injection protection, and so on and so forth, using also API Manager. Then we have a tool called Runtime Manager. With help of Runtime Manager, you are deploying and registering your component, as well as monitoring. You can monitor the sanity of your component, memory usage, CPU usage, uptime, and so on and so forth. After that, we have more wide range monitoring called API Analytics. From where requests are coming, what is the response time, and various different metrics, already customer or users related ones. It's nice to troubleshoot component. We can do scalability, so we can scale either horizontally, either vertically, our deployed components with a zero downtime. You don't need to reserve a maintenance window to scale. And we could provide you a capability to do dynamic scaling. When you have peak hours, we have more load balance components. When you have low hours, we have less load balance components in the runtime. It's nice to get a response from the customers. Simple, nice tool. And who uses MuleSoft, guys? We have this wonderful slide, we call it the slide to die for. More than 100 or almost 200,000 developers worldwide. 1,100 customers. We have 3 of the top 10 global auto companies like Audi, Toyota, and others. We have 5 of the top 10 global banks. We have 2 of the top 5 global retailers. Well, we have Tesla as our client, yeah. I told you Toyota, I'm not so sure, but Tesla and Audi, definitely there. Coca-Cola, McDonald's, MasterCard. Salesforce uses MuleSoft, by the way. Spotify, Unilever, Cyclist, and so on and so forth. Okay, that's slides. Now, again, I know you're developers and maybe you're waiting for demo, and I'm giving you a demo. How to use our platform. Fortunately, I won't be able to walk you through, but I hope you can do it yourselves after this demo, at least play around with the platform a tiny. So guys, demo. In 15 minutes, we will have some nice stuff. What I need just a browser, right? I need a browser, nothing else but that. Here we go. I'm going to site to restore anypoint.mulesoft.com. The good part about MuleSoft, guys, you can create a trial account, which will be fully functional and valid for you for 30 days. And I'm going to do it right now in front of you. I say sign up. I'm going to give my name, Max Golov. I'm going to give my email. That's my email. I'm going to give my phone number, whatever it is. I say my company. I say my username. That's the only stuff which has to be unique. What was the number? 31 and the password. And I need to say that I'm not a robot. And I need to do this pathetic stuff, this couch, where this traffic lights. Okay. and agree to terms and conditions. I oh yeah, I was trying my demo yesterday, so I was using this virtual guide. So right now, literally in a minute, I have an account which is valid, which is mine. I can do whatever I want. It's completely mine. I have all the entitlements listed here on the left. My first step, I'm going to create API, definitions of the interfaces. For those things, I have a design center. I'm designing plenty of things using design center. And first, I'm going to create an API interface. I say create API specification. I'm going to give it a name, output. I don't know, there have been some reports today about Elon Musk who wanted to fly to Mars. Take my mic, let's give Elon Musk. Let's give it a name. Let's say interstellar. Let's fly outside. What are you wrong? Interstellar. Let's fly outside of the solar system. Interstellar API. And I'm going to create my interface definition. I'm using RAML language, which uses YAML behind the scenes. If some of you are familiar with the YAML, it will be easier. If you have no idea about the YAML, just watch me doing things. I'm creating a RESTful interface. RESTful interface requires a resource. Let's call it flights. That's the resource definition. My resource gonna have a method. I'm gonna define two. I say get and fetch. So we have two lovely methods to get data and to update, to fetch. Let me work with my get a little bit. Just a tiny bit. What I get? My get actually has to return some responses for me. You want to have responses? I'll give you a response. A response has to have a status code. 200, everything okay. I'm not going to define headers for my response, just say in time. I just define the body. I want to define a media type of the body of my response. It will be application JSON, lovely. And now, for the developers, I want to put an example of the response because we have an abstraction. We're not talking to anybody just yet. Now, I want to provide the example. And in my example, I will define a simple object, which will have, let's say, two key value pairs. First one, stellar system. Okay, and let's assume I want to go to Alpha Centauri, the closest to us, Alpha Centauri, for instance. And the second one, let's say planet. And the planet in the Alpha Centauri will be, let's fly to the south of that solar system, Proxima Centauri. Here we are. That was my get. Now fetch. Let's do some fetch stuff. How about to provide something we want to update? Because fetch requires some requests. Let's give it a body. Body of my fetch request. Again, the media type is going to be application JSON. And here I want to do type validation. I say type of my request will be also a simple JSON object. A simple one, right? A simple based on JSON object where I say I want to load a fuel. That's going to be my fuel. And it's going to be type of string. Okay? And then when I'm loading a cargo, fuel in this example, I want to get a response on my request. So, response on my request. Looks like I need some typo somewhere. Hold on a sec. I should be fine. I have response on my request, and response will be 201. And 201 will be created. Hold on, guys, a sec. I did a little mistake here. Right. My bad here. In this wonderful coding, I have application JSON type, right? Oh, it should be just good. It should be just good. Apparently, it doesn't want to cooperate. Why it doesn't want to cooperate with me? Yeah, okay, cool. I got it, guys. Yeah, because I'm missing an example. I'm missing an example of my response. And here we say propellant, my cargo stuff, which will be, say, fusion cells. Something like that. Love. Then I'm generating.
Макс, можеш чуть збільшити екран?
Sorry?
Можеш Can you zoom a bit?
Bigger or smaller?
Bigger. Thank you.
Looks better?
Yeah, better. Thanks.
No problem at all, guys. Okay, I'm just trying now to fix the stuff I did wrong. But nevertheless, let's see what we have. I have my page, I have my body of my page, and yeah, well, let's leave it like this. Let's say we have example, propellant, fusion cells. Okay, so I have my method page, I have body of my request with the media type, application JSON. I have type, I have my fuel things. It's nice just to create something out of my head, but I think I'll make it. Okay, so let's see why it doesn't want to cooperate, yes sir. Okay, it complains unresolved reference, propellant string. I didn't make a typo, everything looks fine. I have my type. Okay. Anyways, right, so here I'm creating my RAML where I have my flight, the method get, which actually works perfectly. And I have my method fetch, which actually should be also just fine. Let me finish it. Let me finish this guy. Okay, cool. Yeah, it works. Good. Okay, if we look into the right side, we have actually already RESTful tester. Here I can test my RAML. I can test my RAML, but if I want to test it, I have to have base UI. I have to have a capability to connect somewhere to get the data. We don't have any backend because I just came up with this while I was talking to you. I have a mocking service. If I click on this button, system enables a mocking service. What it means, it generates a URL which is working, which is alive. And if I send my GET request, you see it gives me http://MuleSoft.com flights. And if I say try, and I do send, it actually calls it and it responds to me. It's alive. You can just go there, it will be working. It mocks an interface. What I want to do next? I have my API. I want to publish to make it available for developers. We have Exchange, which is our repository. I just give a version of my API and I say publish. So what I have my API, I have definitions of my interfaces published into the repository. It's just that. My next step would be, I go to my design center, again, I will open it in a new tab. And I'm going to create and implement, I say create. And here I'm creating a new app, a new application, guys. And I call it Interstellar. Okay? And it makes it, it loads some HTML5 things, and in the second, guys, after some questions, it gives me an empty canvas. I'm making it bigger for you. This empty canvas gives me ability to create an implementation. Every implementation, if we're talking about web service, starts from HTTP listener. It listens on something. And it's going to be listening on the path. Let me give a nice path, say departure. Departure. I want to fly to the stars. So departure. Okay. And here is my listener, which listens on path departure. Next one. I just created a second ago interfaces. I called them Interstellar API. I published them to Exchange. They're available. Interstellar. Oops, typo, sorry, Interstellar. Here it is. I click. It discovers my API and it tells me, oh, you're using two interfaces. Get flights, update flights. What I want to have, I want to get my flights. It offers me some advanced stuff I don't want to do. Guys, believe me or not, it's ready. We have an application. If I click test, it will be automatically deployed to Mule-hosted runtime. Let me click deploy in a second. And what do you see in a second? It deploys. It actually makes it available. And if you all, if you want, if you take your mobile phones, just let's wait for a second while preparing the test. And if you go to this address, interstellar-ltvf, if you want to, -us ec2 cloud hub.io, that's what I'm going to do. I copy it in a buffer.
Wait a second, you check.
You want to copy it? Yeah, good. interstellar-ltvf.us-ec2.cloudhub.io. If you don't believe me, then it works. Right? Let me go to the tab. Let me click. And let me say /flight. What is flight? Not departure. Departure. And it will show me actually my example from Rumble I just created a second ago. Come on.
There is no listener for endpoint.
There is no listener for any point. Great. Oh, it should be. I think I made a typo. Because I'm just departure. Okay. Why it tells me gateway timeout? No.
It's a real demo, it's okay.
It's a real demo, it's okay, I know it's a real demo and it should be working. And actually, okay, let me try to do that. Because it was taking a bit longer than I was expecting.
Now it says 502 bad gateway.
It says bad gateway, yeah. It says 504 bad gateway.
In other phone we were able to get some response.
All good, that's great.
You copied 2 times the same.
Your link is bad.
Yeah, I guess so. I placed it twice. Come on. Watch. Yeah. I clicked Ctrl V twice, guys. Apologies for that. That's the one. Oops. Try it again, please. This.
Yeah, it works.
It works. Yeah. It's nice. It's a live demo. So you can see it actually alive. And it gives me this. 2 more steps, guys, let me show you. I'm going back to design center. I'm going back to my design center. And now the data I'm receiving is in the remote site format. My connector, this one, returns the format for me. I want to modify it. We have internal language called data weave. And if I say component set payload, it gives me possibility to modify my payload using data weave language. Let me make it just a simple. I say I have a destination, and my destination will be my payload. And let me say departure time, which will be now. I want to fly like now. I say okay. I click on test again, and it will redeploy my component right this second. It prepares test, it redeploys. Okay, when it says I'm good, if you refresh the page, if you see already our canonical model, so I create my new object, which has a key destination with an object and departure time, which is now, that's my local time. Well, that's not my local time, sorry, it's the US local time, 1731. Okay, and the last thing, guys, I think that's a good idea of MuleSoft. We have designers who are creating interfaces working separately from the developers who are creating business logic. I go back to my design to here, and I say, you know what? I don't want to fly to Alpha Centauri. I don't want to fly to Alpha Centauri. I want to fly to, well, some galaxy, which will be far, far away. To the planet, I don't know, Alpha. 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 Right? And I publish immediately. I say publish to exchange. I say go. And the same second when it's published, when I refresh my browser, it changes my example. So, end of story, end of message, guys. That's a demo, and we spent 10 minutes, a bit more than that, including several typos I made. Maybe on purpose, maybe not, God knows, but actually you see that it works. I just create a trial account, I create an API, I create simple design, and I publish it, and I made it available. And from this moment in time, this interstellar will be available either till the moment I will delete it, either for 30 days. It's absolutely free of charge. So guys, that's about it. That's actually MuleSoft. If you want to know more, I'm working in the education training department. I'm a principal instructor who is responsible for the EMEA region, Europe, Middle East, and Africa. It includes, of course, Ukraine, and it includes also India, by the way. And if you have a question, feel free to contact me. My email, max.golov@mulesoft.com. Find myself on LinkedIn if you like, and go to the website, which is training.mulesoft.com. And here you can read a lot about our trainings, about our department, about things we are doing. And I'll be more than happy, actually, maybe to do a separate workshop with all of you, to tell you more, to spend more time. Maybe you can bring your laptops, and we can work together on some nice use cases, if you will.
Yeah, maybe we can plan later something for
Definitely can do it, guys.
practical skills. Yeah.
And now, let's do some questions and answers round if you want. The only one asked, guys, I can barely hear you from the back, so you would need to share the microphone, and if you have questions, please, English, Ukrainian, Russian, whatever language you prefer.
Okay, questions?
Okay, any questions, guys? or you're just confused and you're overloaded with information? Yes.
No, I don't have a question. I just wait.
Okay.
Hi, Max.
It's.
Hello, guys.
I will just show you people here. So, guys, any questions?
Да. Макс, у меня есть вопрос.
Да.
Ты планируешь сюда приехать как-нибудь на Украину тоже?
Ну, я, в принципе, на Украине отключаем английский язык, отключаем русский. Я прошу прощения, моя українська мова дуже гарна, так що будемо говорити на русском. Да, я, в принципе, приезжаю на Украину каждый год, у меня в Киеве живут родители, я сам родился в Киеве, поэтому, в принципе, да, но я не знаю, как это будет сочетаться с бизнесом.
Ага, ну понятно. Вот, ну ладно.
Може якось щось вийде спланувати. Поки що ремонт.
Пока, ну, да, и давайте будем общаться, ребята, если интересно, я буду очень рад рассказать больше о MuleSoft. То, что если человек сделал за полчаса, больше, это на самом деле 5-часовой воркшоп, где мы рассказываем более детально все, где мы приводим кучу примеров, и вы сами нажимаете на кнопочки и смотрите. Я в данный момент готовлю воркшоп, опять же, для Salesforce, который будет порядка 2 часов. Вот, поэтому милости просим.
Можеш розказати пару слів про в загальному про роботу, про MuleSoft, як там зараз всередині Salesforce разом і так далі?
Конечно могу. Значит, смотрите, какая Russian English with language.
English.
Okay, cool. Sure. So, before the acquisition of the Salesforce, which was about 2 years ago, a bit less than that, 1.5, MuleSoft was a quoted startup company. So basically, we was doing a lot of integration, and Salesforce bought us just to fulfill the integration layer they have. So the idea, and for you to understand, guys, you're working with the Salesforce with plenty of customers. And customers that do integration. What's the way right now you make it integration? Perhaps Java code or some existing component, maybe using some other. We are part of sales. Of course, we sell our product. We have MuleSoft requires separate license, but basically we give the possibility for the customer to consume data using our connectors, transform data using our data with language, upload the data using our connector into Salesforce. And then you can do whatever you want with the data. It's perfect step if customer says we have gigabytes of data in our local Oracle, we want to move everything to Salesforce. And we want to do it periodically, we want to run batch jobs, we want to run it on demand, whatever, or files transform to Salesforce. That's the perfect use case for MuleSoft. Plus data transformation, not just consumption. So that's generally the idea how we're working. That's why actually Salesforce generates more profit because of us, because it's much easier for the clients to fetch the data, to transform the data, upload it to Salesforce, and then power to Salesforce to whatever. Analytics, prediction, all these kind of things.
Yeah. Interesting, thank you. Anybody else?
And actually it would be nice if you're going to promote MuleSoft within your companies, within clients you're working with, because it will be win-win. It's great for Salesforce, it's great for MuleSoft, it's great for the customer. Because believe me, it will be, we're not counting on the 10% development cycle improvement, development time. We're talking about like times, 2, 3, 4 times faster.
We need some discounts for Ukrainian market in MuleSoft and Salesforce.
That's not up to me, guys. We don't have much things which are forbidden for us to say, but for us it's really forbidden to talk money here.
So there is actually a question. There is actually a question from Sofia Kachmar. She is right now probably in Denmark. I don't know because she's traveling so much. But the question is like how to move apps and configuration between the accounts, and if that's possible.
How to move apps between accounts? It's very, very simple because every MuleSoft application is basically a bunch of XMLs. You can just download an app, you have a zip file, and then import it to any account. It's absolutely simple. It's very, very easy.
Yep. Thank you.
I can just show it to you guys. If you give me literally 35 seconds, I'll show it to you. Hold on, I'm sharing my screen. Just a sec, give me a moment.
Okay, let's do it. Then we will show that video to that girl.
Right. Just look. I have my application in Design Center I created. Right, here it is. I'm just going back to Design Center. And this is my Interstellar application. You see that one? I can actually, it was a button to download somewhere. It was a button to download somewhere. Hold on a sec. Let me just get that.
It's free account probably.
It's not about free account. It's because we are changing things so rapidly. I'm just losing the location of things. Okay, I know. Hold on, I'll show you guys. Wait a second. I have my Interstellar API.
There is 3 dots maybe there, yeah?
Yeah, there is a 3 dots there. Hold on.
Maybe at the top right?
Yeah, top right, here.
No.
I'm just looking for import. Export application, that one. Here it is. It was saved on the page. So it's an Interstellar jar. And basically, if I'll take this Interstellar jar and save it somewhere, right? I can just easily go there, go to that Interstellar jar. Where's my file browser? Here the guy. I can go there. Where's my Interstellar? Right, here it is. And that's my Interstellar jar. And this is actually business logic. Here it is. It's just an XML. That's the guy. And it's a form file. Where's my Interstellar? Where's my Interstellar? I lost it. Genuinely, it's a form here, of course. New artifacts, main, that's the new config. Yeah, here it is. That's my application. It's basically a bunch of XMLs. And you can modify that by Interstellar API, which is users, some connectivity, some other stuff. And you can always export it and import it into any accounts. It's absolutely simple. All right? So no problem at all. We don't have any restrictions, we don't have any difficulties of doing these things.
Looks cool. Anything else?
Anything else, guys?
On which platform
1 second.
is it hosted?
I can hear it. Which platform?
On which platform and in which region it's hosted?
Oh, excellent question. We are using AWS. We are using Amazon. And we based on the majority AWS data centers. I know why you're asking. We are GDPR compliant. So we can be hosted in Europe, in Frankfurt. We can be hosted in London, in Ireland, in US, and like 10 plus various data centers worldwide. Once all customer prem.
One more remote question.
So, like additional to the one of movie, is it possible to connect it, like to make automate download and connect it to Git?
Absolutely. Every MuleSoft project behind the scenes, it's a main project. Everything is maininized. So basically, every time you create a new project, it creates a bulk file. It's a main project. And you can connect it to Git, you can connect it to GitHub, you can use Jenkins for CI/CD pipeline, you can use local Nexus, you can use MuleSoft Nexus, all this is possible. Absolutely, yes.
Yep, great. That's it or something else?
Any other questions, guys?
I think we are fine. So, yeah, thanks you a lot. It was very, very interesting to listen. Hope we will find any other chance to connect you for more deeply like explanation. But yeah, let's say thank you for now.
One more time, let's stay connected through whatever media. Well, I don't use Facebook. Apologies, I'm using LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on Instagram. Sorry for that. But all the other kind of communication lines, contact me. I will be more than happy to answer your questions. If I won't be able to answer due to certain reasons, I will refer you to my colleagues so they will help you with everything related to MuleSoft.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you guys.
And yeah, you're always welcome to our city. So whenever you are here, just let us know.
Awesome. Okay, guys, then I'm going to leave your wonderful session. Please enjoy the rest of your meetup and probably we will arrange something
Yeah,
together.
sounds cool. Have a good night. Bye.
You too. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.